Hi, it's Jennifer with Only in Sedona Yoga. Welcome to our Sober Saturday live stream. If this is your first time joining us, tuning in, or catching this later, what this is simply a safe, quiet space. We do a half hour to 45 minutes of restorative yoga, followed by a guided body scan meditation inspired by the rotation of consciousness from the yoga nidra tradition. Once we get started, I try my best not to talk a whole lot other than to guide you from the poses so that you can focus in on your breath and your mindfulness. So we do announcements first, and while I'm doing that, I'd like to invite you to get cozy. Put on your most comfortable clothes, pajamas highly recommended. Grab any props you'd like, bolsters, straps, pillows, blankets. It's good to have a blanket for the meditation later and some pillows so you can get ultimately comfortable. So gather that while we go over announcements, and there really aren't a whole lot of announcements. You might notice it looks a lot light here. It is actually live, 8 p.m. Eastern time, but we are in Arizona, and Arizona is that weird state that does not change the clock, so it's actually 5 p.m. here, and it's starting to still be light at 5 p.m. Thankfully, we made it through another winter. Let's all give a moment of gratitude for that. And we're here hard at work, trying to get things ready. We've been working on renovating actually the camper I used to live in. That was my home, and now it's in our backyard here. And as I've mentioned a couple of times, we're working on creating a retreat experience here and making that into an Airbnb so that people who want to come on a yoga retreat will have that amenity. So a lot of busyness. I'm a little bit sore from doing that, doing a lot of yard work this week, trying to get our farm part of the operation going. So lots of good things happening, and but could definitely use a nice mindful stretch. So no further ado, let's talk to our mats. All right, let's begin in a nice, easy Sukhasana seat. Let your hands just rest in your lap. Let your chin fall slightly forward. And just draw your awareness to the natural pace of your breath without trying to change it. Simply observing where you are right now, checking in physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Detaching and observing as a neutral third party, just checking what's there, not judging. Mentally entering your sanctuary of yoga, where you are safe, you are protected, and you are loved. Let's begin to regulate the breath a bit, inhaling for a count of 4 and exhaling for a count of 5. You may wish to close your eyes or take a soft gaze. And as you feel ready, just start rotating your body around. You're going to start limbering up that spine from a few different angles. Your spine is your lifeline, so check in with it. Many of us carry a lot of emotional and physical baggage there, so just kind of observe what's going on. Maybe go a few one way and then a few the other. And then sit tall in the center of your mat. Perhaps take your hands behind you, straighten your arms to elongate that spine. Take a nice deep breath, inhale. And whichever leg is in front, you can rotate out the wrists as you come down. and just look behind you. Maybe this arm comes up and over. And then maybe as you come out of this, you bring this arm around to the front. You wrap your other arm around and take some eagle arms. Take a few breaths here. Check in with those shoulders. Drop them away from your ears so you're not wearing them as earrings. And release that. Just switch the direction of your cross. Other leg comes in front. Take a nice deep breath, inhale. And twist to the other side. Maybe rotate out your wrists. Perhaps this back arm comes up. And stretch to the side. And as you come out, this arm comes straight out in front. Wrap your other arm around for some eagle arms. Drop those shoulders down away from your ears. And breathe into the opening of your upper back. And come on out of this, roll on over onto all fours. And just give me a few cat-cows. Synchronizing your body movement with your breath. Do this 1 or 2 more times, please. And hold here in your cat. Take a moment to focus on fanning open the muscles of your back. Explore how that feels as your ribcage expands. And then take a barrel roll by shifting your ribcage to the side. You're bending your elbows. You're getting low. You're shifting to the other side and coming up. Do that 2 times one way and then reverse it. And then take a nice neutral spine. Come into a plank. Just briefly. You may wish to drop your knees if you're not feeling too strong, or you can chaturanga down. Just take a second to come up into a little cobra here. Looking over each shoulder. Opening up the back. And from here, we're going to segue into our first pose that we're going to hold for a minute or two. You may wish to have a bolster, but you don't need one. We're going to come into a wide leg child's pose. We'll be holding each of these poses for about a minute or two. So be prepared. Take the first few seconds of each pose to get comfortable. Find the right expression. You may wish to have your arms back, arms in front, whatever works for you. And once you find that pose, settle in. But feel free to move throughout the posture as well if your body invites you to do so. I believe Squeaks may join us, so say hi to Squeaks. Take another breath or two in your child's pose, and then gently start to come out and make your way back to all fours. When you get back to all fours, maybe just take a second, extend one leg, stretch that calf, rock back and forth a bit, and do that on the other side. We're going to go into a pose to open your shoulders. I'm going to move my kitty just a tiny bit. You can just lay her right there in the sweet spot. And you're going to come down in a T. And once you're in this T, you're going to roll to one side so that you're stretching your shoulder. Your front leg can come out here. And you might find that staying here is a little easier, take some of the pressure off. Or you may wish to prop your leg up. Breathe and be. Take another breath or two here, please. Gently start to come out of this. Take your time. Move around your pets. And we're going to be going back face down, but we're going to be going into a little half frog. So again, you might want to grab a bolster here. It feels good to hold it, or a squishy pillow. And your one leg, working diagonally across the body, is going to come out at a 45-degree angle, opening up the hip. Play with the positioning of your bolster if you're using one, or you can lay down flat, or you can use pillows. Breathe and be. Take another breath or two here, please. And when you're ready, slowly come out. Come into all fours. We're going to be reversing reversing the move on the hip anyway. Come up into a plank. Just long enough to take that same leg you were using. Bring it into your pigeon or sleeping swan. Might be out parallel. The foot might be in closer to your hip. Choose what works for you. You may wish to use pillars or bolsters. Find a good expression of the pose. And breathe and be. Take another breath or two before coming up out of this one, please. And take your time coming out of it. We're going to get that full sequence to the other side. So gradually, in your own time, make your way back to all fours, maybe cat-cow it out. Check in with your body, compare how that side feels, maybe compared to the other. And once again, we're going to work crossways across the body, starting with your shoulder. So when you're ready, come back down to your belly. You won't see me for a minute because we'll be rolling to the other side. Remember, keeping the knee down or even using a bolster under the knee will make it a little less extreme. Once you find the pose, settle into stillness. Focus on the breath. Take one or two more breaths here. Before slowly working your way out of this one. Grabbing that bolster again. Remember, we have that half frog to the other side. So your other leg now goes out at that 45-degree angle. Play with the positioning. And then sink into silence. And breathe and be. Take another breath or two here. And as you start to come out, you can move your bolster. We're going to go into that plank just long enough to go into that pigeon or sleeping swan on the other side. Gently begin to make your way out of this one and back to all fours. And when you get back to all fours, give me a few cat-cows to stretch that out. Check in your shoulders and hips. You have several options for our next pose. You may choose to lie on your side, grab a hold of one ankle, and simply stretch back to feel the stretch in the front of the thigh. You may choose to do the same thing, lying on your belly. You can lie down on your bolster, or you can come into a full half saddle. Perhaps use the bolster to brace your back, placing the top of that foot against the mat and coming back. And simply breathe and be here as you stretch the front of the thigh. Another breath or two here, please. When you're ready, slowly start to come out of whichever variation of the pose you had. The blood rushed back through those legs. We're going into a seated forward fold, which we will be doing twice, so we won't be holding quite as long. Sometimes I like to use a bolster against my belly to help to keep my back straight, but you can certainly round forward, take a strap. You can experiment with sitting on the bolster to change the angle. Please personalize this flow. Your goal is relaxation. Just take another breath or two here. Remember, we will be doing this one twice. But before we do that, we'll get that half frog on the other, or I'm sorry, that half saddle on the other side. Remember, you can also lie on your side or your belly and simply stretch your ankle. If it is within your practice, you can lie back. Take one or two more breaths in this pose, please. And then gently untangle yourself, calming back gently to sit, taking your time. letting the blood rush through those legs. Maybe try a different variation of that seated forward fold. Maybe this time you sit on your bolster. Whatever works. A few breaths here. Just take another breath or two here, please. And coming out of this one, we're going to go down on our backs. Give yourself plenty of room to come back. Gently, gently take it down. Get cozy down here. Take a second just to check in with yourself. Let your knees fall together and just take a breath or two here, checking in. We're going to go into a single leg hamstring stretch to a supine twist. I'm going to allow one leg to just fold open, clamshell out. I'm going to lift this other leg up and back. You have options. You might want to prop the leg here, extend it out, play with it. Perhaps you want to change the expression of the pose as we hold it. Perhaps you wish to sink into stillness. Yogi's choice. And coming out of this one, bring your other leg up to meet this leg, and then bend both knees to 45 degrees. Open your arms out to the side, and just let those knees drop to one side for a supine twist. Just give me one or two more breaths, please. And walk your way back up to center. We're going to take that single leg hamstring stretch on the other side. You can position the other leg however you like. Maybe up, maybe to the side, maybe out in front. Maybe play with all three, maybe rotate the ankle. Whatever your body calls you to do. Give me 1 or 2 more breaths. And then bring your other leg up to join this one. Bend the knees to 45 degrees. Twist to the other side. And breathe and be. One or two more breaths as you prepare for your final resting pose. And at this point, beautiful yogi, I'd like to invite you to take Shavasana or whichever final resting pose you find most comfortable. Please use pillows and blankets to adjust your position, asking yourself what you can do to feel even more relaxed, even the tiniest bit more comfortable, and taking the time to give yourself that gift of comfort. Allow your eyes to close and allow your body to begin to feel heavy. Sense the earth beneath you and know that you are fully supported and safe. Allow the healing earth to cradle you in her arms as you draw your awareness to the natural pace of your breath without trying to change it. Simply observing each inhale and simply observing each exhale. You may wish to tune into the miracle of that simple movement, the prana, the energy, continually flowing through all life as you inhale and exhale. Sensing now and drawing all of your awareness to the tip of your right big toe and your second toe, third, fourth, and little toe, the sole of your right foot, the heel of your right foot, your ankle, your calf, and your shin, your right knee, sensing the kneecap, all the intricate connective tissues around and behind the knee, your right thigh, front and back, and your right hip, sensing where the bone of your upper thigh sits in your hip joint. Feeling each sit bone, and breathing into your base chakra for a moment. Before shifting your awareness to the left hip and the insertion of your thigh bone into the left hip joint. The front and back of your left thigh, your left knee, kneecap, and all the connective tissues surrounding and behind your left knee. Your left shin, calf, ankle, the heel of your foot, and the sole of your foot, the tip of your left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. Drawing your awareness now to your lower belly, sensing your second chakra, And taking a moment to breathe energy into that center. Sensing your navel, your solar plexus, the right side of your chest, the left side of your chest, and your heart center. And the base of your throat, sensing each collarbone in turn, right and left, sensing your right shoulder and shoulder blade, your upper arm, elbow, forearm, and wrist, the tip of your right big thumb, second finger, third, fourth, and pinky, the palm of your right hand. From the palm of your right hand, draw your awareness back through your heart center to your left shoulder and shoulder blade, your upper arm, elbow, forearm, and wrist, the tip of your left thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, the palm of your left hand, and from the palm of your left hand, bringing your awareness back to heart center, the center of your throat, relaxing both sides of your jaw, sensing your cheekbones, the bridge of your nose, your eyebrows, temples, and relaxing behind each eye. With your next inhale, imagine that the right side of your brain is a sponge, squeezing it tight. And as you exhale, let all those nerves relax. Repeating on the left, imagining the left hemisphere of your brain as a sponge, squeezing it as you inhale. Exhale, relax. Drawing your awareness to the crown of your head. Breathing from the crown of your head to the base of your spine, touching each vertebrae. Inhaling down your spine. Exhaling back up through the crown of your head. Continue breathing in this fashion, Perhaps choosing a number to count down from if you wish to slide into sleep. Or simply remaining here as long as you like, absorbing the effects of your practice, feeling the deep relaxation in your body, and sensing the difference between now and when you began. Thank you for sharing this sacred time with Only in Sedona Yoga. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and namaste.